Well, hello. It's Richie. Richie Rides for the first time in 25. So yeah. So here we are into April 5th or 6th, I believe. I should check before I... But anyway, we're in the first week of April and it's quite cold and snowy. We're supposed to get snow tomorrow, believe it or not. Whew. Roads are a mess. So, because it's been the first nice day, really, of the year, where the roads are not covered in snow and ice, I figure let's go for a ride. And, you know, doing an old classic Richie Rides ride here with the old Sparky. My 750 watt Bafang powered Rockhopper. It's an older frame. It had decent components on it, so I converted it. My car blew up and I didn't have much money to to reinvest, so this is just right after COVID, and I got into an electric bike instead of, I got a vehicle now, but 2 years ago when I built this, I didn't have a vehicle, so I needed to get around. And so I did this for a year, and that's when I started the channel. If you guys are regular watchers, you know all this. And while getting back into it, I also started lifting weights and getting into shape. And again, people know me, know this already, but it's for your first time watchers. There's a bit of a journey here, a bit of a transformational journey, because I'm now 60 pounds lighter, or 50 pounds anyway. I'm 188 to 190 on the scale. I was at least 245 at one point. Mostly a big gut. My girlfriend at the time would say, "You're pregnant." I said, "Yeah, I know." So I really wanted to do something about it, and that was part of the decision making with getting into the e-biking thing, because I knew it would be a lifestyle change, and I was kind of looking for that. The other thing is I have a background in sports, so like skiing, and I did a lot of mountain biking when I was younger too. My thing when I was for a good teenager into my 20s for sure would be skiing and then riding a bike. And I even raced in both, like it was 17, 18 in college, and 19, 20. I was very competitive in these sports. So I wanted to rekindle these, these skills and these, exhilaration in that. And an e-bike was a great way to do it, great way to start. It's kind of cheating. But these machines are great. Now, I spent a lot of time last year talking about this build and how I got into it. So if you want to go a bit backwards, I used to go through my videos there from last year and or year before, and even you'll see all kinds of how-tos and how to build a bike like this. The maintenance, the maintenance schedule on it. It's a little bit of maintenance, but not terribly much. And then, so if you just do that, today's main thing is to just take a ride and get some fresh air. The other thing is I'm also an asthmatic, a fairly bad one too at that, meaning I'm chronic and I'm always having to be on a medication. I was taking the blue puffer for quite a bit. Then during COVID, my asthma was getting really bad, and I was getting a little worried about that because I never did get sick with COVID, to be honest with you, and I was kind of fortunate that way, but I did have a lot of hard time breathing and had to rely on my asthma medication quite a bit, to the point where I had to lose my benefit because of it, as I was taking too much. Like I was flagged for taking too much. And so anyway, that's that story. But what's happened now is I guess this is now third year. 2 years, almost, 18 months on the fitness, like weightlifting, and the diet change. So the part of the transformation is what I'm getting at is I really don't have asthma anymore. Now I do have like allergies, and I do get the phlegm production, and I think that has a lot to do with what triggers it, which, like, you know, like this time of the year, the leaves, rotten leaves and that, which is a common trigger. It's a little chaotic here. Okay, let's get on this. Ooh, that was nice. That was fun. So, yeah. So my health improved quite a bit, and my heart rate was, I mean, not, I should say heart rate, but my cardio was getting a bit better on the electric bike. And then I was going cardio on doing cardio in the gym, and I ended up developing a high elevated heart rate, which kind of had to, you know, really focus on gradually increasing my cardio and not going hard out, all out too much. So I did spend some time just kind of working on that, and I managed to defeat the tachycardia. So my heart rate is about 20% lower than it was when I started, like pushing hard, like when I started feeling good and then really getting into, like, you know, fitness and then pushing hard, but again, like my heart rate was way too high, and I didn't realize that. So now I gotta watch, and I keep track of that. And again, I got a video where I talk about that. So it's kind of like a journey here. So I've defeated that. Now my heart rate is very normal. My blood pressure, everything is normal, right across the board. I've changed my diet to mostly protein, so mostly steaks, chicken, fish. I get all that from Costco. I go once a month. I go to Costco and I buy just a big pile of that stuff, and then I bag it up in my freezer. You know, get a loin, cut up a loin, and actually end up saving money. Eat better, save money doing that, to be honest with you, because when you work it out, it's under $100 a week for groceries, and you're eating really good and not eating out much. So I ended up spending less, believe it or not, than eating junk food I was eating before. And the junk food, I mean, my God, the processed foods, you know, cutting out canola oil, really limiting sugar. I haven't eliminated sugar completely. I still put sugar in my coffee, but really tailoring that down to near, you know, the least amount of sugar as possible. I drink the Google Fit there, or Google Gatorade. And then try to eat 2 meals a day, and that has really worked. I've been losing some weight now. I'm kind of plateaued now, a little, you know, where I'm kind of at my weight now. It's really hard to lose more. I'm trying, like, I'd have to really work extra hard to lose more, eat less. You know, I'm kind of at, how would say, well, I'm at an okay weight. I'm okay right now. I could lose another 15 pounds, be all right, and then it'd be optimal. But I mean, that might be, that would require a lot of effort. So besides that, I also have a mountain bike now. I went and got a really nice Cannondale Trail 1 mountain bike. I really like that. I'm not on it today, but last couple videos that was on it. But I do look forward to getting back on that bike, and seeing where I'm at, because I was in a pretty good space there. I was running good, hard, like fast with it, good pace, not out of breath, heart rate, everything in the good zone, you know, like nothing outrageous. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting back into that. But again, take these things gradually. So ultimately, like Richie rides, I'm going to spend less time talking about the bike and you know, e-biking and that, because that's been covered. And I'm going to maybe talk more about you know, the fitness and the transformation. But that's going to be more like kind of a rebrand. Like right now, like, I don't have a place where I could film working out, because the gym I'm at doesn't allow that. They don't want tripods and productions going on. So I'd have to find a private gym for that. I do have some people that are really knowledgeable. My friend Pat, who got me really working out and who taught me the proper techniques and all that, would be a great person to have, you know, to go over all these things. And we could, you know, talk about fitness and that with the experts, and who helped me along. And why I think that's a good idea to focus on that is because it would be good to inspire other people who are in my similar situation. Like if you're maybe a hockey player or a basketball player, or you had your glorious times that you tell your grandkids about. Well, you can get it back. That is really, I think that I'm too old. As long as you're healthy, as long as your blood work is decent, your heart is okay, like you don't have any issues there, and that you have like full mobility, like your body's not busted up, and you're in your 50s, even 60s, you can do this. You can transform yourself. It's absolutely possible, and it's worth it. It is so worth it. I can't emphasize that enough, how much it's worth it. So here we are. So that's kind of my story here for your first time listeners, first time viewers. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Again, I'd like to expand this channel into more of a transformational fitness theme as the year goes on. I'm still definitely going to do the rides. It's going to be part of it, and that, because I enjoy this. I really enjoy these rides. I do so much. I'm enjoying today. Now, it's supposed to snow tomorrow, big time, and that's kind of very encouraging. Like a foot of snow. Give me a break, come on. But you can see there's a lot of sand on the sidewalks because it's just recently melted. It's really been the last couple of days. So all this has to be cleared out. I want to kind of get off this the sidewalk here. This is the thing. This is one of the main roads, through to Sudbury, and right on a bike you have to take a sidewalk. And no, I am not riding on a 4-lane road like that. That is absolutely dangerous. Distracted drivers specifically is what is the deal breaker. And my bike is not fast enough to keep. This bike can go pretty fast, but I'm not really into try to keep up with traffic. Got a good pace going on right now. They're 24 kilometers an hour. Speed 5. All right, so now we can get off this. There's really no cut in between here, eh? That's the way Sudbury's laid out, weird like that. Okay, it's a little bit more bike friendly here. Oh, a little skippy skip. Yeah, the skips a little bit. That's one of the things with the chain-driven mid-drives. A bit hard on the gears in this. But I replaced the sprocket and the chain, and it's been kind of skippy ever since. Sometimes, sometimes you get these little issues. Yeah, it's going good. It was speed 6 all of a sudden. I'm having problems here. So maybe I'll just lower it down to 5 and not deal with the skipping. There we go. Other than that, the bike is pretty smooth. Jeez. This could be the cold, that's causing this. I don't really want to adjust things right now. So, let's, well, we'll go somewhere and I'm going to just see if I can adjust the gears. This is getting really annoying. All right, it's settled in now. So right, so you can see like the way Sudbury's laid out. There's like big mounds of rock in the middle. We're a mining town also in Sudbury. We mine nickel and copper and all those kinds of metals. Very important metals. Big, huge deposit here. And the ski resort is actually right over here. I passed it. Can we take a look to see? Well, yeah. Anyway. Fingers are cold too, because it's only like 2 degrees Celsius. It's not even 2 degrees. It's like 1 degree. It's 0. Like it's not even melting. Snow's hard. What's the temperature out where you guys are? So last year we had a pretty warm winter. Not so much this year. I think I would call this a healthy winter. This is a kind of a winter I like, to be honest with you. Growing up, these were the kind of winters I'm used to. You know, you get a warm outlier year every 8-10 years, whatever, and then you get a couple of cold winters after that, and they kind of balance out. Like, I don't think you're going to have a hard time convincing anybody in the north that there's any kind of warming going on, because it sure doesn't. You know, it's not reflected in our winters. They're pretty much the same. Again, just they vary one year to the next, but that's I consider that normal. That's kind of expected, really. So, hope you're enjoying the ride. Man, fresh air feels good. Okay, so there's some actual bike lane infrastructure coming up here. I wonder if it's covered in snow. Mostly covered in snow. Not too bad. There's our bike lane right here. The snowbanks here were 4 feet high. They never got cleared out. It stayed all year. It's only not here now because it melted. You know what? I haven't had breakfast yet. I'm going to go have breakfast at Cora's. Maybe fix those gears. All right, good old bacon and eggs coming right up. I'll find a place to park this bike. Oh, what a big disappointment. Cora's is closed at 3, and it's 3. They just strictly do breakfast. So, option number 2. I'm gonna have a Costco hot dog since I'm nearby. Okay, so you really got to be heads up around here there, because kind of like traffic avoidance maneuvering. There's the bike lane here. All right. Oh, we can cross. Oh, better hurry up. Damn. All right. I include this in the video just to see like kind of what it's like to drive around here. People right hooking you all the time, turning into you. You just gotta keep your heads up, get the mirror. And yeah. Yeah, see, that wasn't done right. But okay. This place is always so busy. This is where I get my my foods too. See, they got a bike rack here. Yep, we sure do. Ooh, all right. All right, I'm gonna go have a hot dog and I'll be right back. Check the place out. Oh man, that hot dog hit the spot. Yeah. Try and finesse our way around here. Now, I mean, I complain about this quite a lot, but the way commuting on a bike is pretty freaking hard around here. Like, okay, I'm gonna go. There's a bike lane here, okay, but I'm going the wrong way. But whatever. Because what ends up happening? I'm gonna cross the street, and then this only goes for so long, and then the sidewalk on the other side just completely just stops. There's a rock face there. So I'm just gonna go on this side down Kingsway, which is not bike friendly. Again, you won't see me on 4 lanes, so that's just how it is. I'll be on the sidewalk, thank you. Now about Costco, so yeah, big part of my diet right now is Costco. So what I do is it's about 4 or 5 weeks, I'll go and I'll get a strip loin, which I cut up into steaks, strip loin steaks. Those are like about $200, so that's the biggest expense there. But I end up with 18 steaks, 17, 18 steaks, pretty consistently. And that's like $12 a steak. Which is, and they're good. They're really delicious. I love having them. I have them for breakfast. And I also get a tube of hamburger meat, a big tray of salmon, and a tray of turkey breasts. And I bag that, along with, coffee. For whatever, the big 5-pound or whatever it is of Starbucks, which lasts a long time. And what else do I got? Maple syrup. And I don't eat out. I work, even though I work at a restaurant, I don't eat the food there. Oh yeah, I can walk good. Because I'm really avoiding oils. So part of this diet is not just eating protein-based wholesome foods. With a fair amount of fat, like I'm not shying away from the fat. So butter, like my breakfasts are like real high fat. Like I get bacon and eggs, toast and butter. Sometimes I'll throw a steak in there. And that steak, bacon, and eggs is kind of what, like when I work, this is my hack for like yesterday, for instance. I had to work at the restaurant, and so instead of having breakfast, like I'll have like a small whatever protein shake sometimes and I wake up. But yesterday I didn't eat until about 4 to about 3 o'clock, and then I had a steak, eggs, and bacon meal, and that kept me satisfied until when I got home, and on my way home I had 2 McDoubles at McDonald's. So that was my meal yesterday. So the McDoubles at McDonald's they're okay. I mean, but I won't eat the fries, and they don't bother my digestion or anything like that. And having asthma, and I guess which is related to food sensitivities, I really feel my body and I feel the inflammation if I eat bad. Like one time I had like if I have a pizza with the pizza dough that they have at the restaurant, not to slag the restaurant's great, but it really, I can really feel it. I really feel the drain, and then I can feel the tightness in my chest and my body. So I got to be careful what I eat. I don't know exactly what it is. It was gluten or the seed oils or whatever. I just avoid it all because it's unhealthy, and I'm much better off for it. That's the secret. That's one of the secrets. You gotta change your diet. That's probably the number one, top of the pyramid. You have to change your diet if you want to get out of the metabolic disease. Like, I didn't know anything about metabolic disease when I got into this, and then you realize, by taking blood tests, I was kind of pre-diabetic. They were talking about, I was not to the point of insulin or anything like that, but my blood work before I started was not that good. And I was getting the speech, and that was, again, one of the things, all these things that led me to make the decision to change my lifestyle. It was just, everything was in more favorable for me at the time. It was almost like not forced into it, but it was encouraged into it just by circumstances. And that may not be for everyone. So, like, you need motivation in that. And once you get started, the motivation it becomes. You become almost, I wouldn't say addicted to it, but you don't want to change once you get going, especially when you start feeling like the gains and the improvements. It's very encouraging. Right, so let me venture into the land of vehicles here. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Gas is down. That's nice. I like that. Oh yeah. So number one priority is you got to put diet and get your blood work and get your levels, everything under control, and just maintain that and get on that. The other thing I think is important is to monitor your exercises and see the improvements, which the Apple Watch does a pretty good job of that. The other thing I do with my workouts is I track all my workouts. I use an app called Fitbod, and I've been using it for a year now, and I got like 180 workouts on it. And you can see the linear progression, because I use progressive overload. I'll get into that some other time. But like the weightlifting, you get more weight, more reps. Every time you go, you just increase a little bit, the volume, and that. And you get stronger and stronger every time you go. And that ramped up for a solid year. So I really got, that really was effective because I almost doubled my strength, really, literally. Now, however, I don't go around lifting heavy. I kind of did because I can injure myself at this point. So what's going on? Because I am like 58 years old. I do have to be careful with things, especially with bench presses. Because I do have a bit of a shoulder issue. I've always had a bit of a shoulder problem, so I can't really push the bench press too hard, because then my shoulder will I'll feel it. I got some rotator issues there, so I kind of avoid going too heavy, and instead we'll do higher reps in that. Same with the, because I had a pretty bad knee injury. Oh, I gotta watch it here. A couple of years ago, about 6, 7, 8 years now. It was 6 years. I don't count it too often. Anyway, I categorize my knee injury in two stages: the initial injury, and then the surgery afterwards, because they were both required a fair amount of freaking rehab. Okay, the first injury required rehab. That was not so bad, but the freaking surgery for ACL torn. Oh my God, that is a bloody burden. That took a while to get better, okay? So it's finally better now where I can jog and not feel the pain of the injury. I do watch. I am careful with squats and leg presses. Although I can really get pretty high weights on those, I stick with 15 reps times 5 on things like squats, deadlifts, and leg presses. I go high rep with a fair amount of weight, and really what that and that just prevents the injuries from occurring. So I definitely think that's a good idea, because you can get caught up when you're linear progressing. You can get you can start, like, your ego can get in the way there, and you can go, oh look, I can do 405 pounds on a deadlift. Yeah, I probably could. I could do 405 pounds right now. But why I don't want to do 405 pounds right now? Because I don't want to pop a ligament, or I don't want to overstrain a freaking a muscle. Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. And this bloody car is parked in the worst plus. Okay, watch. I was nervous about vehicles like that, because they end up taking off on you. You got to make sure you see you. Poking your nose across the sidewalk. That's a northern thing. I mean, we all do that. Right. So, again, I'm going to give it an overview of my transformation, as I call it. And yeah, linear progression is part of it. So, and then you got to be, again, careful. Let's be careful here. All right. I keep forgetting what I'm talking about there, because I've got to pay attention to what's going on around me. 50% off mountain bikes. Wow, this is where I bought my bike. I bet you it's on sale right now. So these guys are great. This is where you want to buy your bike. Doc's Hobby Shop. Fantastic service. Absolutely fantastic. So, all these distractions. I hope you guys are enjoying this ride. You're getting my life story and the perils of riding in Sudbury, Ontario, down LaSalle and Kingsway, like the worst bloody roads probably in Canada for riding. All right, so let's keep going here. Right, okay, so you got diet, you got exercise, and the cardio component. That's another thing. So you just kind of balance all that out. You get the 3 things going on. And here's the thing, you got to do at least 3 and 4 times a week, okay? I would say, a personal opinion, I could, I mean, you whatever, argue about this or not. If you're doing at least 3 times a week, whether it be riding a bike, weightlifting, running, any of the 3, then you're kind of maintaining and progressing slightly, 4 times a week, then you're progressing. 5 times a week, well, that's elite, athletic. Anything more than that, and you've got to be careful, because there's such a thing as overtraining, and that's another newbie trap. Another mistake that you can make is that all of a sudden, oh, I'm feeling great, I'm all into this, I'm watching videos, I got my Jeff Nippert on and everything, and then you're all of a sudden you're overtrained. And what happens when you're overtrained? Well, you feel really shitty. So what happens with that is your body gets into overstress mode, and a survival mode. And that kind of happens when you train every day. And especially if you're training hard every day. You can't really do that. You got to give yourself a break, because your body demands a break in order to keep itself from, it'll force it on you if you don't give it enough time to relax. So I'm going to take advantage of this. All right. Anyone else coming? Okay. Right. So what I do, okay, because I think I might have overtrained a little bit at first. So we'll not get into that too much there, but to basically the way I deal with that is like I'll feel sore the next couple of days, next day or two, and I kind of wait until I'm not sore. Then I go back. So that works out to about 3 times a week in the gym, and then maybe 2 times a week on a bike. Okay, so I got like my 5, 2 to 3 on a bike, which I didn't do this winter. I didn't ride at all this winter. And that's where things are working. So, you know. And the other thing I've done is I've kind of lowered my weights a little bit. And you can only progressive overload so long. Then you're at your kind of your I guess your what you should be kind of strength, fitness. Like, you know, if you were living in the paleo days, you know, you'd have to be certain fitness just to survive. And I think most of us are obviously under that, because we don't need to work as hard to survive. I guess you can call it your genetic potential, or whatever, you know, your potential. So feels good when you're there. When you're there, sleep is better, moods are better. You know, it's all good. All right. So I'll head back now. The gym is in there. That's where I go work out at Worlds. I hope you guys enjoy this ride. You can see the what it's like as it snow melts. All right. Casual ride, nice casual ride. So next time you'll probably see me on my Cannondale, my mountain bike. I'm gonna wait a few more days. I want to wait for all this snow to go away. I really like the mountain bike quite a bit better. It's a different experience. This is more casual, but the mountain bike feels more like a sport, and I really enjoy it. Sudbury Secondary, good old Alex Trebek. And, he's from here. Yeah, I do like this town, I really do. Very much so. So, roads are kind of bad, but hey, the people here are super friendly. I don't have too much trouble in Sudbury. Sudbury treats me nice. I don't have any issues here. I have a low stress affair. And maybe we'll do a little bit of maintenance on this bike and get her to be less skippy. Other than that, it's riding really nice. Very, very smooth. Yeah. Last thing before I go, please don't vote Liberal. Just don't, okay? Just please. Pretty please. We gotta get rid of these clowns. And on that note, please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the ride.